The following aging and sexing techniques explained in this video are the main criteria used for pre-season waterfowl banding. This period is typically July, August, and early September. All characteristics for the aging and sexing of each species are not covered in the video. This production is not intended to replace field experience. It's imperative that potential new banders get training in the field with experienced banders. This video will help you get started into the interesting activity of bird banding. The video should be of interest to experienced banders, as various trap designs, equipment, techniques, and ideas are covered. The video will begin by covering the generic duck for general aging and sexing methods that can be used on most species. Generally, it will be assumed you know already how to speciate the types of birds you will be encountering at the banding site, and that you have some knowledge of the feather groups on birds. Generic duck. The relative size of the spots on a female's bill often reveal the age of the duck. Adult females typically have large spots or blotches. Immature female spots are small, few in number, or sometimes only one spot may be present. Males usually have no spots. The tertials and tertial coverts may be used to age a bird, and this is particularly helpful later in the banding season. Adults usually have larger, broader, and less worn feathers. Immature feathers are narrower and are more worn. Mastering wing feather wear requires a fair amount of experience. If you'll be banding birds later in the season, one should start examining wing feathers early and acquire a good wing key. Adult birds have tail feathers with no notches. If the bird has notched tail feathers, the bird is an immature. Unfortunately, many immatures lose their tail feathers by late August and are replaced with adult-type feathers. Since males will have either an immature or an adult penis, replaced tail feathers will not pose a problem, but for females, aging is more difficult. Wing feathers will help to determine the age of a female. Adult birds that are unmolted have very worn feathers, both on the tertials and the primaries. This occurs most commonly on adult females, but sometimes you'll find unmolted adult males. Some birds may be in full molt. Many of the adult males and some of the adult females often have brighter and more colorful feet and legs than the immatures of their kind. Male dabbling ducks often have vermiculations, complex white markings on their body feathers. These may be found on both immature and adult males. However, on diving ducks, vermiculation may occur on females. Locals are young birds that are incapable of sustained flight. 4 or more primaries will not have fully grown out, and part of the primary and its shaft will be sheathed. If you are in doubt if the bird is capable of sustained flight, you can perform a flight test over water. Simply release the dry bird over water. If it doesn't fly away, it's a local. If it does, then it's a hatching year bird. All birds are after hatching year birds if the banding date is after December 31st. Birds are locals or hatching years only if they are banded in the same year as they were hatched. Waterfowl can be positively identified as to sex by popping the cloaca. This is accomplished by inverting the bird and gently opening the cloaca. This technique should be taught to you in the field by an experienced bander. If the bird is a male, it will have a penis. Immatures will have a small worm-like penis. An adult will have a larger, white, sheathed penis. Sometimes during this technique, the banders will come across cloacal worms. These are not to be confused with a penis. Females have no penis, and it's difficult to tell the adults from the immatures. Adult females' cloaca often are easier to pop as the cloaca has been stretched due to egg laying. Adults do not have a distinct bursa opening. Immatures have a full bursa, and the opening to this structure can be located. This is a very difficult technique and should be explored in the field with an experienced bander. Puddle ducks. Mallard. Generally, the adult female mallard has large spots or blotches on the bill. Sometimes the female bill may be totally black. The immature female may have small spots, but often they have spots similar in size and shape as the adult female. Adult males have a solid olive-green bill. Local and hatching year males have green-colored bills with an orange base on the lower mandible. All sex and age categories have orange-colored legs and feet, but the adults are brighter in color, particularly true for adult males. On female wings, the white stripe above the speculum extends over the tertials. On males, the white stripe stops before the tertials. Immatures have worn tertials and relatively narrow tertial coverts, while adults do not. Use this method reliably after practice. Often, males caught in banding traps are in eclipse plumage. As the season progresses into late August and early September, the eclipse plumage is replaced with breeding plumage. American black duck. All black duck bills are green in color. Females have at least some blotches or spots. Sometimes there may be only one spot, particularly on locals or immatures. The adult male has a bright olive-green bill, and the immature male has a green bill with no spots. The feet and legs of black ducks are orange in color, but adults, especially the males, are very bright colored. The wing is not useful for sexing black ducks, although the speculum is usually larger in size on males. Black ducks have 10 or more dark underwing coverts at the wrist joint and have no white line above the speculum. They may have a white line below the speculum. Mallard cross American black duck. This type of bird can be any variation of the mallard or the black duck. The hybrid will have at least some white above the speculum and 10 or less dark feathers at the wrist joint in the underwing coverts. Mottled ducks. The adult male bill is olive green to bright yellow in color. They have a dark black line at the base of the mandible. The hatching year male is nondescript and greenish in color. The adult female bill is orange, almost black in color from spots or blotching. The black color is more commonly found under the lower mandible. The immature female has an orange bill, usually with spots, but sometimes not. The legs and feet of adult males are bright orange in color. The adult female's feet are also orange, but not bright in color. The immature male and female leg is drab orange in color. Mottled duck wings are difficult to use to sort out males from females. Male wings tend to be longer, but there is considerable overlap. Gadwall. The bill of gadwalls are narrower than other dabblers, and they have distinctive orange edging. The adult female bill has large black blotches, while the immature female has small spots. All age and sexes have bills that are edged in orange. The wing of the adult female and both immatures have dull white secondaries, and the upper wing coverts have a small amount of black and cinnamon color. The upper wing coverts have no vermiculation. The wing of the adult male has bright white secondaries, with a large amount of black and cinnamon color on vermiculated upper wing coverts. American widgeon. The belly of the American widgeon is pure white in color. These are the only puddle duck with this characteristic. The bill is short, stubby, and slate gray in color, and the adult females have blotching or are solid black. On the wings of after hatching year females, the upper wing coverts are edged with bright white and have dark centers. The underwing coverts are brown with white edging. The after hatching year male has all white middle and lesser coverts, and the underwing coverts are gray with a salt and pepper pattern. The immature's female upper wing coverts have dull, washed-out white edging, and the centers of these feathers are dark, while the immature male upper wing coverts are more white than brown. American green-winged teal. The bill of an adult female is gray in color with large black blotches. Sometimes the bill is almost black. The adult male's bill is gray, with some small spotting similar to an immature female which has small black spots. The immature male has a gray bill with no spots. The wing of a female greenwing has less than 4 iridescent feathers in the speculum, and on males there are 4 or more iridescent feathers. The body feathers of males often have vermiculation. Blue-winged teal. The bill of the adult female has large black spots or blotches. The adult male has usually a couple of very small spots. The young females have some spots and young males have none. The amount of white in the secondary coverts is far greater in males than in females. The feet of females are gray in color. Adult males' legs and feet are bright orange in color. Cinnamon teal. The characteristics of cinnamon teal and blue-winged teal are similar. The main criteria to separate these two birds is the length of their bill. Cinnamons have longer bills. A cinnamon teal male, caught pre-season, may be starting to develop a red eye. Northern shoveler. The bills of shovelers are gray in color. Adult females have large black blotching, or are totally black. Young females have smaller blotches or spots. Males have no spotting on the bill. The wing of an adult female has pale blue upper wing coverts, and less than half the speculum has green iridescence. On the adult male, the upper wing coverts are bright blue, and more than half the speculum has green iridescence. Northern pintail. The bill of the pintail is a gray-blue in color. Adult females have large blotches. Immature females, small spots or blotches. The wing of adult and young females have brown coverts with cream-colored edging. There is usually no iridescence in the secondaries. Males have gray coverts without cream edging. There is much iridescence in the speculum. Body feathers of male pintails often contain some vermiculation, whereas females do not. Wood duck. The bill of a female wood duck is dark in color. The adult male has a very bright bill with colors of white and red. The bill of an immature male is not as colorful as an adult male. The legs and feet of adult males are bright yellow. The eye of adult males are bright red. The eye of an immature is often red, but may be brownish. The eye of an adult female has a distinct white patch around the eye, whereas the immature female has only a small white ring around the eye. Diving ducks. Redhead. The adult female has a gray-blue bill. The bills of adult males are dark-tipped with a white stripe. The eyes of adult males are bright yellow, and the immature male usually has a yellow eye just becoming apparent. The females have brown eyes. There are neither vermiculations nor flecking on the wing of female redheads. The wings of adult males have a large amount of flecking on the upper wing coverts. The young males have some flecking on the upper wing coverts, but the flecking is considerably less. The heads of adult males are a brownish chestnut color, while the adult females have brown heads, often with some white marks. Canvasbacks. The bill of a canvasback slopes away from the head and is quite different than a redhead bill. The adult male has a bright red eye. The others have brown eyes. On the wing of all females, all coverts and tertials are flecked at the distal tips. On all males, the coverts and tertials are flecked to vermiculated over the entire feather. The body feathers of females have some flecking, and the males have a considerable amount of vermiculation. Lesser scaup. Ducklings of scaup are dark-colored, while redhead ducklings are light. The bill is used for aging and sexing by using the Lemaster Duck ID book. The feet are gray in color on all ages and sexes. On lesser scaup, the white color in the secondaries does not extend into the primaries. The females have coverts with light flecking concentrated at the tips, and the males have coverts with heavier flecking recessed from the tips. The body feathers of females have some flecking, while the males have considerable vermiculation. Ringneck duck. The bill of the adult male ringneck duck has two white rings, one at the tip and one at the base of the bill. The bill of the adult female and immatures are similar with one white ring at the tip. The neck of adult males has a faint ring of chestnut brown. Both adult and immature males may have vermiculation. The adult male and immature male have yellow eyes, although the adult male is brighter. Females have brownish eyes, and the adult female has a white eye ring. Common goldeneye. The adult male has a lot of white on the coverts, and the adult female has white on the coverts as well, but considerably less than the adult male. Both the adult male and female have yellow eyes, although the males are brighter. Bufflehead. The adult male has much white in the coverts. The adult male has bright pink feet. The immature male is not as bright pink. Females have gray feet. Ruddy duck. Wing aging characteristics may be used to determine the age of ruddy ducks. Cloacal examinations can be used to determine the age and sex of the bird. Hooded merganser. The bill of the adult male is black. The bill of the adult female and immatures are similar, with the upper bill being black with some orange edging, and the lower bill is yellow. Both male and female bills are similar in length and are narrow and serrated. Immatures have brownish tertials and primaries, whereas the adults are blackish in color. Both the adult male and immature male have yellowish eyes, although the adult male is brighter. The female eye is brownish. Cloacal examination is the only sure way to age and sex this species. American coot. The adults have bright red eyes and black heads. Adult bills are ivory in color. Immatures have red eyes, but not as bright red as the adults. They have gray speckled heads, and their beaks are darker in color. We do not sex these birds. The duck banding site is usually selected because of the presence of ducks. Often these sites can be found by pre-scouting with vehicles or airplanes. Sites that have heavy duck use often have many feathers floating in the water. Ideally, the banding site should have little human disturbance, shallow water, and a relatively hard bottom. If ducks are using this wetland already, spreading bait will help concentrate ducks into the selected trap site. Bait can be of a variety of feed, but it is typically corn, barley, or wheat. Once you start baiting, ensure that the bait is available until all trapping ceases. Missing a day of baiting may cause some of the ducks to vacate the site. Do not overbait in the water, as the bait may begin to rot. Once ducks are attracted to the selected trap site and the bait is being readily consumed, then the trap may be assembled. Traps may consist of various designs such as the NBL trap, box trap, or the cloverleaf trap. If there is heavy duck use, traps may be immediately assembled. Sometimes the trap may be assembled in stages if the ducks appear to be trap shy. 1-inch by 1-inch welded wire is the most common trap material, although some people are starting to experiment with materials made from plastic. Welded wire is easily cut using a cutoff wheel. The top of the trap may be made of wire, but fish netting can be used and often is less likely to injure ducks when they try to fly. Cable ties are useful for joining wire together. Aluminum rod of 1/2 inch or 5/8 diameter is used to support the trap. Steel T-bars are heavy and awkward to use. A float should be added to the trap so birds can rest, preen, and dry off. If there is likely to be predator problems at the banding site, precautions should be taken prior to the banding operation and before any ducks are killed. Live traps are one method of controlling predators. Electric fences work well, provide protection 24 hours a day, and have the added benefit of not having to deal with trapped animals. In some locations, banding traps may be checked twice a day, in the morning and just before dark. This will basically eliminate predation on ducks in the banding trap. When the trap has been successful, the ducks inside must be secured for banding. There are various methods for capturing the ducks from inside the trap. Often, fish landing nets are used, but this can be time-consuming and cause the ducks to become wet, and in the netting process, the chance of injury may be higher. The best method is to use a catch box to herd the ducks into an area where they are confined. These may be of wood or wire, but they are best made of plastic with an aluminum frame, as these are light in weight and reduce injuries. To remove ducks from the catch box, an access door made of rubber tubing works well. The doors to these catch boxes can be triggered by a string attached to the release mechanism. Catch boxes increase efficiency, reduce injuries to the ducks, and provide a handy holding container for the ducks while they're being processed for banding. The catch box should not be overloaded, as this may cause ducks to become wet or injured. Bands can be organized, pre-opened, and placed on a carousel or on a piece of wood doweling. This may not be necessary if you're going to be banding small numbers of ducks. Pre-opened bands greatly reduce processing time if the station typically captures large numbers of ducks. A good wing key and Lemaster guide are useful resources for speciating, aging, and sexing ducks. Immediately after aging and sexing of the duck, or after other appropriate measurements and data have been collected, the duck should be banded as quickly as possible and released. If a brood of ducks have been caught, they all should be released at the same time along with the female. Bands are placed on waterfowl by using a variety of banding pliers, but generally the best pliers to use are pliers specifically made for banding, or hog ring pliers. Each trap site has its own characteristics, and it's difficult to cover all scenarios in a banding video. It's important that the bander strive to reduce death and injury to ducks, collects precise data, and continues to improve on the techniques used at individual sites. If it is a traditional banding site, a new bander should spend time learning from the experiences of the previous bander. This is best accomplished by the new bander assisting the experienced bander in the field. Ensuring all banders keep reports on their individual trap sites enables the smooth transfer of information to new banders. The following section will allow some banders a chance to share their techniques, ideas, and thoughts with you.
At the bottom, we have a plastic pipe that keeps the catch box off the ground level and keeps the duck's feet from being injured it also makes it easier sliding in the truck. One other thing, we have the inner tube on the top for the easy access to pull the ducks out. Is to have a seam in this seam that would probably be run down about here. And this section of the wire could extend out a little more out to here, possibly another foot out. And the corner here wouldn't be quite as severe, and possibly you wouldn't have as many ducks get jammed, squashed into this tight corner. One little simple deal we've been doing on the banding carousel is putting these clips on the bottom of the band strings so that a person doesn't accidentally pull the band off the wrong string and accidentally pull the band number 51 off instead of the lower number on the other side.
These are spreaders that will spread the bands. There's several different types. These two are relatively the same, just a little bit different widths here at the top. These you can use, for instance, if a band is on a duck's leg and you need to take it off, then these work real well to just slip it in there and spread them like that. To spread the bands to put on the carousel, you can use something like this, and that also spreads them.
Yeah, we put duct tape around the opening where we pull the birds out of the catch box because we sometimes get some sharp edges on the welded wire here.
This catch box duck banding puts some burlap on the sides and the top of it. It's nice as far as reducing this, we believe, in reducing the stress to ducks. As you're carrying it to shore, and once they're in there, they can't see out the top or through the sides. This is an NBL swim-in trap. It's made out of 14-gauge welded wire. It's 4 feet high and the sides are 8 feet long. We hook the sides together with 1-inch hog rings, and then we use cable ties to secure the top and then to secure any gaps in the trap where a bill could get caught. The pole in the front is used to hold the trap door open when the catch box is set up next to it. The funnel needs to be fairly narrow, and at the bottom, at the end of it where it opens up into the trap, your fist should fit at the bottom of that. That's about as wide as the mouth of the funnel should be, as wide as your fist.
The classical MBL traps fit very nicely in the back of the truck, seeing how they're 4 feet wide and exactly 8 feet long.
Okay, this is a cloverleaf trap. It's held up with 1x1 welded wire. The poles that hold it up are 1/2-inch aluminum rods. You can use 5/8 apparently. The netting on top is a cotton fish netting. The styrofoam platform is just a regular household insulation styrofoam. It's used for a loafing pad.
I check the traps at least twice a day because of coon problems. If you leave them too late in the evening, coons are roaming around this area and they'll go in onto the trap after the grain and will eventually kill the ducks if the ducks are in there. This is a plastic barrel that I store my corn in. It prevents the rainwater from getting onto the grain, and it also keeps any predators out.
This trap here has a top load. We can take them out at the top. The entrance is here. It's about 12 inches long. It funnels in and narrows down so that the birds can't follow their way back out again. The trap wire that we have is 1 by 2 here. We find that this wire is not as good because the teal get their wings caught in them. The trap is collapsible. It can be taken apart and put back together in about 10 or 15 minutes, and it can be easily transported. These traps here also have a bottom that, in order for the ducks not to burrow out underneath the bottom of the trap. If they get into mud area, they could dig their way back out. So these all contain a bottom.
We attach some plastic mesh on the inside of the catch box to alleviate especially the teal from putting their heads through the 1 by 2 wire mesh fencing. I would recommend, if someone were to do this to their catch box, to actually bring it all the way up to the top, because a lot of the birds, when you get a lot of numbers of birds in here, will stand on each other and they're still getting their heads poked through in these areas. So it has eliminated a lot of minor injuries on the bills by having this wire mesh in there. In addition, we put a lightweight mesh at the bottom that also keeps the birds from getting their toenails caught as often at the bottom.
This is a retractable leash it's meant for walking dogs, but we use it to release the catch box door, and it works out well because it self-retracts.
This is the Lemaster method of waterfowl identification, otherwise known as the bill book. Inside it has bill lengths for males and then females in the white dotted line for all common species of dabblers and divers in North America. And the method is to line up the edge of the mouth with this black line and overlay the bill on top and help you positively identify the duck in hand. The Lemaster book also talks about distinguishing characteristics of the feet.